I don't like you. I'm just so negative right now with you. You got me in the front. Then when I'm talking to you, when you're on my mind, I fell, bitch. I hate you. I don't got shit right now. Right now, worth living for, bro. You take all that shit from me. I hate your fuck ass bitch. Hoe, whore, die. Fuck you. And that nigga, bitch. Your ass, I hope you die. I wish all negative shit upon you. Fuck you. And you make it seem like I'm not my son's father, so fuck you even more. I don't give a fuck. I wish everything wrong happened to you, bitch. Miss me with all that, bruh. I don't know why I'm at. You don't know why I'm at. And, like, fuck it. That's what it is, man. Like, I'm done, bruh. Ain't no us, ain't no we, bruh. I'm tired. Like, bruh, I'm hurt, bruh. I don't see how you could be waiting on me and you letting me just do everything that I was doing, letting me just go loose like how I was. You was not trying to hold on to me. You was not. So fuck you. And I really felt like you done entered a whole nother war zone.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. He a narcissist. He underscore a underscore narc underscore sis. He a narcissist. So we are on episode 8. After this episode we'll have 2 more, 9 and 10, and then hopefully I have given you guys a full scope of what it feels and looks like to deal with someone who is a narcissist. So should I take it back as far as like what episode 1 and episode 2 consisted of? I think I did that last episode, so I'm not going to do that. I honestly just want to run straight through episode 8, which is the no supply, no worth. And when it comes down to the no supply, no worth, it's basically, I'm just going to be detailing what it felt like for me and what it looked like as far as what he was going through at the time. Bear with me. All right, so last episode, I let you guys know about the restraining order and how we were awaiting the actual court date for the restraining order and child custody, so on and so forth. So here we are. The restraining order, the judge had granted it until we went to court. Next showed up for court. Next, definitely he showed up to court for the restraining order. We had a moment to speak, and Next asked that if he wanted to know if it was possible for us to continue, if we continue to keep in contact, but he was asking if I would think about doing the no negative contact order. And with that order, it just, you guys he can contact me, but anything negative I can record, I can, document and save and go further into whether or not I wanted to do the full, restraining order. I absolutely denied that because one thing I learned as far as like dealing with Next is that there's always going to be negativity. There's nothing positive that will come out of dealing with him. The only thing positive that came out of me dealing with him is our son. Everything else was just so negative. So no negative contact. That's bullshit. That's like me playing myself if I had to like went ahead and said, yeah, let's do that. So went into court. I had all my documentations laid out for the judge. He looked at it, went over it, and he was like, absolutely, the restraining order is granted. You are not to be within whatever so an amount of feet of myself and also my children as well as his son. The judge also put in dates and orders for us to do mediation and as well as another court date for child custody to discuss how we'll be raising our child together. After court, that was it. We didn't speak or anything. And like I said, I battled with the trauma bond where it just didn't feel right. And not only that, it was the sense of feeling guilty. Like, this cannot be okay. And just sitting with it and like feeling like I'm the bad person. Like, you really literally get to a point where like you feel like you're the bad person, though this person put you through so much. You feel like, wow, nah, I took it too far. But in all reality, it's like they took it too far. Like, Shay, you shouldn't have allowed all this to happen. This has been a lot. And just because you're bearing it doesn't mean it's okay. Once I was able to like process that, there was no stopping me. But at this point in time, I hadn't processed that, so I was still thinking like, okay, this isn't right. This man has a lot going on, and me being the person I am, very like wanting to help and help him see. Like, I was really trying. I feel like I was trying to force him to be a better person, and whether you guys know it or not, that's impossible. You cannot force someone to be a better person. They are who they are. Period. You know, if they want to change, they have to change for themselves. They can't change for their children. They can't change for their spouse. You know, they literally have to change for themselves. They have to be tired of themselves for them to change. And restraining orders in place. I'm going through what I'm going through, my healing, and I'm literally, my intuition's kicking in like full throttle. And I'm receiving messages as far as what's going on with this gentleman, like what's going on with next. And it got to a point where I couldn't bear it, anymore. Like, I have to tell him, like I have to call him, I have to reach out to him. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the worst thing I could have done, is reach out to him, because he was actually abiding that restraining order after court. He was following through with that. And I reached out to him. And the moment I reached out to him, he was very upset that I reached out to him. And he had every right to be, but that wasn't part of the restraining order. Like, I can contact him, he just couldn't contact me for any reason, but whatever. Contacted him, and he didn't understand why I was contacting him, and he was like, he let me know, like, basically he manipulated me into thinking I was absolutely wrong. Under no circumstantial woman ever call the police on their child's father. Like, he tried to manipulate me into thinking I was just so wrong. I took it too far. In our reality, he had taken it way too far. It was a while before he was even able to accept the fact that he put our son, my life, and his life in danger when he came over, barged in the house, snatched my son, got in the car, started the car, put the car, in drive. Like, anything could have went wrong in that situation. Thank God it didn't. But anything could have went wrong, and it took him a minute to even say yeah, I was out of pocket for that, And so he tried to blame me for doing a restraining order because he didn't want to acknowledge that he was so wrong. But we talked, and in that first conversation, I'm just telling him, I really need you to. I'm telling him, like, I really need you to get it together. This is not who you are. You are better than this. I've seen you, and this is not who you are. Like, whatever demons you're fighting, like, you need to let that go. And me explaining to him, like, the whole, like I said last episode, like, when we were being intimate, and it was just a black shadow, like a demonic black shadow. And I'm explaining that to him, and he was like, wow, Shay, like, you really in tune. And, like, he didn't deny it. Like, and that was crazy to me, too. The fact that this man, like, he didn't deny it. Like, what the fuck? Anybody else would have been like, you're fucking crazy. Like, wow, you're on some shit. He didn't deny it. He didn't do none of that. He was just like, wow, Shay, you're really in tune. And he listened to everything I had to tell him. And I told him, like, the restraining order is to protect me. Not only to protect me, but to protect my children and our son. I feel like you're not in your right mind. All you have to do, because we still have mediation, we still have child custody coming up. I'm telling them, all you have to do, continue to work, seek out therapy, find a psychiatrist so you can get back on your medication. That's all you have to do. And he during that conversation, he seemed like he was listening to me, like he was taking it all in, and he was very, like, apologetic for putting us in the situation that we're in. And that was just that one conversation. After that conversation, like, one thing about next is that there is no end. Like, and I told him, I just wanted to deliver this message to you. This is all you need to do to fix everything that you've messed up. And that was it. Like, once he had a way to contact me again, he abused it. And he will call over, over, and over. And then only that, he started popping up again and again and again. One thing I do want to mention, though, like, I'm going to go straight forward. I don't want to go detail for detail of every incident that happened. But let me chronicleize, like, main events. One of the events is, so the court stuff happened, I want to say, in November. In November, where we went to court, restraining orders, input, no contact order. I reached out 2 weeks after that, and then we're into November, going into December. It got really bad in November. December comes, my birthday, December 9th. My birthday comes, and I remember being home. He rings the doorbell. I go to the door. I don't answer it. I'm like, oh my God, what is you doing? You're not supposed to be here. And he was like, well, it's your birthday. I just wanted to tell you happy birthday, and I got something for you. I was like, oh my God. And I'm just, just expecting, like, the worst. And he was like, I'm about to go to work, so I'm about to go to work. You don't got to worry, but I'm just going to leave this here at the door. If you can get it, that'd be great. I just really wanted to, give you something, bring you something for your birthday. And and he left. Like, he left. I got the gift or whatever, brought it in, put it in the closet, and I prayed like crazy, because I don't trust his energy. I don't trust that. I just really believe that anything he comes in contact with, whether it be a piece of paper, a freaking anything, it's contaminated now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I feel. So I put it in the closet, locked it in the closet, closed it in the closet, whatever. So, and I did that, moving right along. So that's December. January comes along. February comes along. So we're into the new year. Oh, and so this is the biggest issue. He made it a point for my birthday to make sure he brought me something for my birthday. When it came time for Christmas, and he wanted to make sure he told me happy birthday. When it came time for Christmas, what I'm trying to say is, when it came to our son, he got my son nothing for Christmas. He didn't even bother to call. Every other day prior to Christmas, he was still calling, harassing, and sending messages however way he could. He was still doing the harassment, which at that time I was able to bypass it, like, oh, you really gonna end up in jail. Okay, so when it came down for Christmas, he didn't bother to reach out to our son. He didn't bother to get our son anything for Christmas. At that moment, and going into the New Year's, nothing either. So I wanted court. Court was in February. We had court for the mediation, and so take note. This is COVID still going on. So everything was via video or telephone. You know what I'm saying? And when mediation came, I showed up. He didn't show up for mediation. Court for the child custody and visitation, all that came. He didn't show up for any of that. But take note, the whole time he's doing things, calling like crazy, calling my job like crazy, cussing me out, making threats, all this stuff. He's doing all this stuff. It's still popping up at the house. Take note, he's still popping up at the house. At 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, he's still doing that. But when it came down to show up, to actually show up for our son, he did not. So, which automatically, I have full custody. He has no rights to our son at this point. None at all. He got more crazy. Reckless. He got reckless, really reckless. He ended up losing his job. He had just got a car, so he's just being reckless. He's just being reckless. But anyway, smear campaign. So I didn't have any knowledge about a smear campaign. Is this something a narcissist does? 100% this is something a narcissist does. Towards his, and the thing is too, this is called no supply, no worth. If I wasn't walking him through something, if I wasn't putting my energy into him, he was fucking diminishing. Like, I could no longer recognize who he was, and I couldn't recognize who he was when he had came back to California after being back home. Like, he got so skinny, like frail, like just walking dead. That's what he looked like, walking dead. Like, he wasn't taking care of himself. Like, when we were together, he groomed himself. He made sure that he had like a fresh cut, make sure, he looked appealing. He dressed nice. Came back, he was just small. Like, he had lost looked like he lost like 70 to 80 pounds. Like, and so weak and frail. Hair, beard, everything's just unkept. Like, he wasn't taking care of himself. But as we were in contact off and on through that time, you can see like a change in his appearance. Like, it was up and down, up and down, up and down. But after the child custody and all that stuff, and I just completely like shut him down, no longer communicating, because that's one thing I wasn't accepting no more. Like, how you show up for my birthday, make sure you told me happy birthday, make sure you got me a gift, but you couldn't show up for Christmas for your son to even say happy birthday, son, call or text, none of that. Like, he was just in my ear the whole day, like, and the next day he's like, but it was all about me. When I say this man, it really felt to me this man had no connection with his son, and that it was all about me. That's exactly what it felt and looked like. And I didn't understand how I was more important than our son. I didn't understand that. I still don't understand that. Well, I got some insight on it now, but it's very still hard to even grasp, like, really? Because what I was told was, because our son was so little, he couldn't pull anything from our son. My son couldn't say, yay, daddy, good job. He couldn't get that instant, like, validation that he needs, like, he's a good person, you're great. My son couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, my son was taking attention away from him. Once our son was born, 100%, it's my kids. Like, this has always been. But I'm saying when our son came into the picture, my son is a baby, so he needs a lot of mommy's attention. And I was given that, which took away from him, which I think led to a lot of his, um, his extracurricular activities or whatnot. But getting back to what I was talking about, which was him becoming no supply, no worth. He no longer, he couldn't, if my energy, if I wasn't putting any energy into him, if I wasn't feeding him or fueling him, he was slowly like declining, like a dying a slow death. It's exactly what it felt and what it looked like to me. Like, because he was getting crazier and crazier, and all his antics became like his antics became more out of desperation. Like, he was desperate, like at this point, for my attention, for my energy. Like, he was just desperate. It was really extremely desperate. He would go pay a visit to my mom. He began to call my mom, call my sister, just anyone that he knew that we had a common, he would reach out to them, try to reach out to them. And I guess it got to the point to where he wasn't getting any feedback from them. So he said, you know what? I'm going to make a fake Facebook page. And on this page, I'm going to say, I don't even remember what all the man said, but basically, like, I took his son from him, and I'm not as good of a person as I portrayed myself to be. But it was so crazy because the screenshots I was receiving from people was, and take note, he sent me a friend request to that and also messaged me from that page. But as soon as I seen it, I'm like, oh my God, he's on one. And I just, made a little public post like, hey, everybody, so my son's father, he's not okay. So you might get a friend request on a fake page. This is the name of the fake page. I apologize. Like, because why would you want to bring your shit into the whole world's life? Like, come on, like, keep that shit to yourself. Like, there's nothing good from what you're trying to do right now. But that's what he did. He made a fake page, and it was so up and down. From the screenshots I've seen, it was like him trying to bash me as a human being, and then, oh, but I love her with all my heart, and she is a good person. It was just being contradictory. He was like, here, then here, then here, then here. And it was like, oh yeah, he's losing his shit. He is fucking losing his shit. The day of February 14th, which was Valentine's Day. Was it Valentine's Day? Well, yeah, February 14th, that's the one I had actually called the police on and put because he came to the house. He was at the back, and he was just begging and pleading, whatever case he's trying to beg and plead. I don't know. But he did it like for like 3 weeks straight, almost every night, well, early morning, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, he was at my back window. He was at my back window screaming my name. Can we talk? And every time I'll call the police, they'll come. By the time they'll come, he had already left. This one time, I had a good officer, because all the other ones were like, well, ma'am, it's something we can do, You didn't have a recording. Did you record him? You have any evidence that he was here? Like, everybody was like that with me. But I had this one officer, and actually I had the night of February 14th is when I actually did, like, record him. Like, I'm tired of this shit. Because they say also, when it comes out to a narcissist, they try to cause their supply sleep deprivation. Like, they try to deprive their supply of sleep. Throughout our relationship, he did that every fucking night, and I didn't understand what the fuck. It'll be like, shower, I'm getting ready for bed, and I'm roll over for bed, and he knows I'm about to go to sleep, and he'll wait for me to be asleep, like say an hour, 2 hours in sleep, for him to wake me up. Either waking me up because he's trying to have sex with me, or he's waking me up about some bullshit. Like, oh, or want to talk about a show that he just finished. Oh, you missed it, or so and so this happened, and I'm asleep, bro. Like, I never understood that until it was brought to my attention that they do that. I never understood why he will always wait until when he was doing his pop-ups for a whole freaking month straight every night. Why he would wait till about 2, 4 o'clock in the morning to be at my back window. They say they do that as a way because as long if you're weak, they say that's like one of your, I want to say, weakest moments, most vulnerable to where you'll just like, oh, let anything pass because you're tired. Like, just let anything pass. So him being there, and I'm just like, okay, whatever you say, and then I'll agree to anything, or because that's one thing. Can I come in? Can we talk? And thank God I wasn't that vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? But those are your most vulnerable moments when you are like sleep deprived, lack of sleep in those hours. But February 14th, Valentine's Day, he was crazy. Like, he swore I had somebody in the house, and woo 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 woo, all that shit he would do. And he ended up leaving, but I recorded him. Called the police, showed the police the recording, and yeah, this was the only time I was able to show that he actually went against the restraining order, and yeah, I have to follow through with that. Ooh, what else is it? So from February, I don't know, March, that I want to say March looked good. No, February, the month of February, I think that's when everything went like to shit for him, because he didn't have a job, so he was just being a big nomad in the world, in California. And I just remember I got so tired of him accusing me, and I know you're seeing somebody, who car was that, and here, and who car was that there, like all that stuff. So one time he got at me, and I'm just like, you know what? Yes, you're right. Because you get to that point, you get so upset to we disagree. Everything that you're saying, you're right. Yes, everything. Like, just leave me alone. Is there yes, there's somebody else. Who is he? It doesn't matter. So I remember somebody messaged me on social media, and I like, it was like months ago, but I finally just replied. So I replied, we had like a back and forth conversation, like maybe 5 messages each. And I just took a screenshot of that message, like of that interaction, and blocked out the person's name, and just be like, yeah, see, I'm seeing somebody. I'm talking to somebody. And I sent it to him. And I'm thinking he'll finally just be like, yeah, okay, I'm done. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. What happened was him saying, not even him saying, like, well, he did say, fuck you, bitch, all that good shit. And that night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, he comes, back window, and are you serious? And then I don't know how he came up with so much stuff, but out of that little back and forth message, he said that I don't know, he got that I was engaged to this person. You're really engaged to him, Shay? Like, y'all about to get married? So this whole time we've been together, like, he must have been in the picture. And I'm telling you, this person that we exchanged like 5 messages each. That's it. And I only replied solely to be like, see, yeah, I'm talking to somebody. So he can leave me alone. But he got that I was engaged. I've been dealing with this person for a long time. And that's where the Facebook page came in, that he doing all stuff on Facebook. But that night after he left, because I just closed my window and called the police again, but that night that he left, I didn't hear from him. Well, I heard from him like 3-4 days later, actually. Like, I went 3-4 days. He did not call, reach out, or nothing. I'm thinking it was finally over. Morning, 3-4 days later, I woke up that morning on my way to work, and I got a voicemail. Listen to the voicemail, and the voicemail is saying, I hate that it always has to be like this, but Shay, I really need you. I need to get my car. I just got out. Please call me. Please call me. I didn't call. Didn't know what he just got out of. And I'm not fit to help him get his car. I don't know what's going on with you. And I really didn't care. And he called again, left a message. You know what? I'm good. I don't need you. Dirt off your shoulders, right? So I'm good. And then it was like maybe a month later, that's when he reached out to me again. And the way he was able to reach out to me, let me reiterate this. The way he was able to reach out to me is this. So, when I would accept so when we're friends on social media, mainly Facebook, being friends on Facebook, say we'll get into it or have a discrepancy, or right before he's about to act an ass, like he knows he's about to act an ass, he'll deactivate his page. So because it's deactivated and we are friends when he activates it, we're still friends. I won't never know when he's activated or deactivated it. So that's what he would do. In this particular time, that's what happened. He had deactivated his Facebook. So, and we hadn't talked for I think it was like 2, maybe 3 weeks. And then he finally reaches out, and the way he reaches out was through Facebook. He reactivated his page, and he reached out to me. And when he reached out to me, it was about his son. How are you doing? And he wanted to, it was just about his son, and he said that he's solely focusing on bettering himself to be a better father, to be a better human being. And of course, being flirtatious. Well, you look really good. Oh my God, your profile picture, your lips look good. Like, being flirtatious too, but like he seemed like he was just focused on getting his shit together for our son. And he let me know he was back in his hometown, which was very good news to me, because for the whole 3 weeks I didn't hear from him, I couldn't sleep. It was hard for me to sleep because I got used to the pattern of he gonna be here about 2, 3, 4 o'clock. I got used to that pattern of him popping up. But yeah, I later on found out, so let me just put that out there. No supply, no worth. I later found out that he told me that night after he left, after doing trying to do a smear campaign and reaching out to my family and stuff, and trying to like just tarnish my image or who I am as a human being. After he tried to do that, he got super drunk, drove to Vegas, got a DUI, went to jail. So the 3-4 days I didn't hear from him is because he was locked up. And then when he got out that morning, that's when he called me asking me if I can help him because they took his car and he just got out. He lost his shit. So with that, and he no longer had a job, So that was a rock bottom for him. Another rock bottom. This man has had many rock bottoms, but this was just another rock bottom. And what we need to realize as a humans, or even if you're empathic, like, what we need to realize is that we carry something greater than most can see. Like, we carry something, and narcissists are attracted to that because they can see it, they can identify it, and they'll play off of it, And when it comes down to us, we're attracted to narcissists. We tend to, draw in people that need us. and we pour our energy into those people because that's just who we are. We literally have to stop doing that, because it can really wear us down. I've seen with my own eyes what I hold inside. I've seen it with my own eyes. A frail, broken human being, and me pouring my energy into this person, nurturing, catering, uplifting, encouraging, into a person. And I seen what that did. I seen this man face start to glow. His eyes started to shine. I seen his form is building. I've seen that. And I also seen, once I pulled it away, I seen what it did. Broken, frail, unkept, soulless. I honestly feel like when I met him, he was soulless, and he fed off of my soul. And once I took my soul away, he was soulless again, and it showed in the physical sense. We must pay attention to that, because it's there. The proof is in the pudding, but you have to be able to see it, to have that vision, to, as much as we want to think everything is black and white, it's really not. It's really, really not. It's deeper. It's a lot deeper than that. So that is the No Supply, No Worth segment. The next segment, episode 9, would be the new supply. The new supply. Now, the new supply, you guys, I think you guys will be a little shocked. Every time I speak on this part of it, a lot of people become more aware, or more like, what? It hits when I speak on the new supply, and how that was my stamp. The new supply was my stamp on, this is who he really is. Even though I seen the shadow in the mirror, this man is not good, he's a whole demon. Even though I seen it, I still doubted it. I doubted myself. I doubted what I witnessed with my bare eyes. I still doubted it. Even though every other check, everything else checked off, I still doubted it. Episode 9 was when I no longer could doubt. I can no longer doubt that this is who this man is. The new supply. And when I say the new supply, it's a new woman. Within the 3 weeks of him not contacting me after going back to Florida after the DUI and stuff, within 3 weeks, about a month, not even a month later, it was 3 weeks, he reached out to me, told me he was local and that he wanted to see our son, and he had a fiance. Please take note how crucial episode 9 is, because it was very hard for me to see, to witness what I witnessed when I communicated with them both and seen them both. It was very difficult for me to witness. It was very hard for me to fully grasp that, wow, you really are a narcissist. This is really how you guys do your thing. The subtle abuse, I witnessed it to her. Like, I witnessed him do it to her. And she had no clue that it was happening to her. But because I'm aware now, I was able to spot it, and it hurt. And not so much like I wasn't hurting for her. I was like, damn. That's how smooth he was with you when it came down to the subtle abuse. That's how smooth he was with you. And because of that, I seen how naive and how, like, oblivious, like, she was to what was happening to her in those moments that I witnessed it. Take note. I only was around him physically one time, and I noticed it. The rest of the times were via video chat when he had supposed to have been video chatting with our son, and I heard it. So imagine all the other times they are together that he's constantly, like, he's doing that. That shit wears you down, and I just felt it. That's why I told myself, fuck all the bullshit. I don't care. I'm not holding this in. Women need to know what to look for. Women need to know what to look for. Women need to be aware of this type of shit, because this is the type of shit that why women take their lives, women take their kids' life. They lose themselves. Their soul is slowly being ripped away from them. Oh no, she lost her mind. Yes. When women fucking snapped, just like that. Come on now. Witnessing her shit and him using those tactics on her and her not knowing, but me being aware, I felt that was fucking unfair. Very unfair of me to keep my mouth closed. Very unfair of me to not make women aware. And like I said, it's not just women either that go through narcissistic abuse. Men go through it too. There's women just like him. They use all those same tactics towards a man to break a man down. It's only right that we continue to bring awareness to it, because I knew what it felt like not to know shit, to not to know what was going on, and didn't even feel comfortable enough to talk to anyone about it. But I knew I had to say something. I have to put a vlog out. I have to bring awareness, because I witnessed this woman not know she was being abused, not knowing that he is using his same tactics on you that he used with me. Episode 9 will be next week. We're hitting to the end. Episode 10 will be the freaking end. And I have to take a break. I absolutely need to take a break. So episode 10 will be it. I'll slowly continue to put some content out on my Instagram and my TikTok and everything. But as far as the vlogging goes, like, it's very time consuming. It may not seem like it. And I literally, it is time consuming. I rushed through this shit, and I didn't want to have to be in a situation where I'm rushing through it. But I have been finding myself rushing through it. I still have a whole lot more healing to do that I just realized over the weekend. I still have a whole lot more healing to do. And when I say healing to do, I'm always going to have healing to do. It's never going to stop. But I'm saying, like, I have to get back to me. And in this vlog, as much as I want to help and bring awareness, I have to take care of me in order to do that. So I will do episode 9. I'll do episode 10 like I started. And I will take a break and go from there and see what's next for me. Because this right here was for me to do. Like, it was, I had no choice but to do it. You know. Thank you guys all for watching. And keeping up with me. And I hope, like I said, I just really hope that it touches an ear or two. And not only touch your ear, but also help you to navigate on how you can move forward, how you can heal, how you can get away, and how you can begin to live your life, with purpose. Because it does feel like sometimes you're living for everybody else, and you shouldn't feel that way. Live for you. Live for you. The best thing you can do is live for you. We are great. We are miraculous. We are fucking awesome. Like, we're fucking awesome. And to live through this, like, literally, if you can live through dealing with a narcissist, you can live through anything. Like, period. Because this shit can literally kill you. I find myself so shocked at times when women are saying, yeah, I was married to a narcissist for 20 years. 20 fucking years? I was dealing with a narcissist for 3.5 years, and I damn near died. How'd you do 20 years? Like, 20 years. 20 years. Yeah, a woman said she was dealing with a narcissist for 20 years. She finally got away 2 years ago. This is the best her life has ever been, And her reason for staying with the narcissist was for her kids. And sad to say, but she said she's almost certain like 2 of her kids are narcissists. That was one of the main reasons why I had to get my son and keep my son away from next. Because not even just my son, but my other children too. Because keeping that type of toxic, negative energy around you, it rubs off. It rubbed off on me. It rubbed off on me low-key. Like, I was very short-tempered. I'll be going through shit with him, and next thing you know, I'm socking the damn TVs. Breaking TVs. Snatching shit off the wall. Just breaking shit. Taking fucking glass plates in the kitchen and throwing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I became crazy. Like, because dealing with low vibrational people fucking takes a toll on high vibrational people if you allow it. And I think if you don't know, because I can feel it in a room. I can walk, like, me not in the past, I didn't know who I was, what I carried. So, I always felt like, I don't want to say, but like, not even like an outsider, but I always didn't feel like I fit in, no matter where I'm at. Never really felt like I fit in. And now I fit in everywhere. Like, to be honest with you, there's nowhere where I feel like, I don't really, no. But what I do know is when I walk in a room, when I walk in anywhere, like, I can feel the energy. Like, I can feel like, yeah, this ain't for me. Like, this is, have a conversation with somebody for 5 minutes and know, like, this person is not a good person. Like, I can feel that shit now. And once you become in tune, like, that's just it. Once you become in tune, you know who you are. So you don't have those questions or those insecurities or anything. I'm very secure in myself. I know who the fuck I am. And can't nobody take that away from me. And life is good. Honestly, life is really, really like blessings on blessings on blessings, opportunities after opportunities after opportunities. Like, life is really good. I'm grateful for every aspect of my life, my friends, my family, everything I am grateful for, because I'm in a very, like, Very great place. Very great place. And I'm very protective over the place I'm in today. So next week, episode 9, new supply. I hope you guys tune in. Mwah. You know we rocking, right?